Hello, and welcome to Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk a bit about what has occurred yesterday. Now, we know that there was an insurrection and that the President of the United States, Trump, was the one who caused it. And I can guarantee you, nobody in our lifetime has seen anything like that, at least in the United States. However, the good part is, and all of the people wanting to immigrate to the U.S. and seeing what happened can take heart, is that the democratic process was successful, because even though the unthinkable happened and that the thugs and the domestic terrorists who are Trump supporters, stormed the Capitol, the same day Congress got back to work and they certified Joe Biden as the next president, and they certified Kamala Harris as the next vice president, thereby doing what has been done for over 200 years, minus the fact that these people stormed the Capitol, minus the fact that the President of the United States incited the violence, encouraged it, wanted it to happen, minus the fact that the President of the United States did not condemn it, did not stop it, and gave at most a extreme lukewarm, it's okay, we love you type thing, go home after it was all said and done. So then the issue now becomes, with the democratic process, whether the current president of the United States has the ability to govern. Now, it's one thing doing what he's done for some time now, which is nothing to help the American people, not working on COVID, not working on the economy, not working on anything other than spewing lies and conspiracy theories, which apparently a lot of his people believe. So the real question is, what he has done, will it hurt the national security of the U.S.? Will it hurt the future security of the U.S. and our interests with our allies and, unfortunately, with our enemies, based on what he's done? I mean, the whole world saw yesterday what happened. The whole world was in shock. And, all of our allies were absolutely in shock and couldn't believe it was happening. And there were enemies that were looking, going, wow, is it that easy to get into the Capitol building? So the 25th Amendment will allow Vice President Pence to initiate it, basically to claim and show that Trump doesn't have the ability anymore to run the country. And if 50% or more of the cabinet agrees, then he will be removed. And if Trump disagrees, which he will, it ultimately goes to Congress, but then there'll be a 3-week period where he still won't have power, and Congress will decide whether or not the 25th Amendment should go forward. And based on that, if that happens, of course, President-elect Biden will be president by then. So I know, and I was in the same boat thinking, well, it's only 2 more weeks. Let's just ride it out. But you can see what happens if we just ride it out. You can see the damage that can be caused. As the new majority leader of the Senate, Schumer, was saying, just like President Roosevelt said back in 1941 on December 7th, that was a day that will live in infamy for the United States. He equated what happened yesterday on the same level of despair and of history that had occurred. And it's true. So we can all learn from this, but 2 weeks is a long time to have an unhinged person in the office who apparently and actually will do anything to claim on to his power. Now, the fact that after the Electoral College was finally counted and Vice President Pence stated that Joe Biden will be the next president and Kamala Harris will be the next vice president. Uh, Trump put out a statement saying there will be a peaceful transition of power, but you have to ask, did he just do that so that they won't come at him with the 25th Amendment? Did he just do that to try to get time to do whatever it is that, he might want to do? I mean, his accounts have been shut down on Facebook and Twitter. The President of the United States has had his main source of information or disinformation shut down. That's got to say something. Well, anyways, for all the people who still want to immigrate to the U.S., and for all the people who look at the U.S. as a beacon of freedom, do look at the fact that even though what happened yesterday happened, it still didn't stop the process from going forward. They were all, until 3:42 in the morning, they were all in session, doing what they had to do, and, as Vice President Pence said, they got to work. So the wheels of democracy are still rolling forward, and there's nothing that Trump can do that's going to stop democracy. I mean, he can try as much as he wants, he can create an insurrection, but he won't stop democracy. And that's the power of democracy, that when it's tested, when you go right up to the edge of it to try to push it over, it comes back and it's resilient, and we're all still here and we're all still fighting. Okay.